The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Will Harry and Meghan try to upstage the coronation by throwing a massive birthday party for Archie? Royal columnist Lee Cohen told The Express, "It's terribly petty, but the Sussexes, who no longer have their royal platform, seem to relish any opportunity to attempt to upstage a royal occasion. It's not as if the royal family seek occasions to upstage the antics of the Sussexes, quite the opposite." Royal correspondent Natalie Oliveri warned they're also being encouraged to not pull any stunts during the coronation and really stick to the plan. "I think their appearance at the coronation will be very similar to that of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee last year. We might see them at one or two events, but largely they will be kept in the shadows because they don't want to take away from the historical event. It's also Archie's birthday, so they might host a little party at Frogmore Cottage like they did with Lilibet." Diana Elsa had an interesting take on Megxit. Diana writes, "William and Kate were in Aberraven, one of the most deprived areas in Wales, where they visited local leisure centres and opened a community mental health garden. This was like the Stilnocks of royal outings, so boring and so worthy, it's a wonder some poor cameraman didn't drop out of pathological boredom. If anyone ever needed hard proof that being a working HRH can be, at times, a supremely dull gig indeed, then voila. The interesting thing is that Kate's big day out accidentally perfectly proves one of the arguments made by a new book, Gilded Youth, about why Meghan found royal life such a bummer. As we all know, in children's books and anything involving a singing cartoon bird, becoming royal not only comes with lots of lovely money, but acquiring a title means power and control over your destiny. No more sweeping out of fireplaces or putting up with an evil stepmother's dastardly demands. Oh, wave a hand and you can watch forelock-tugging courtiers plunge to bended knees and trays of finger sandwiches appear as if by magic." Disney lied. In Gilded Youth, written by longtime royal biographer Tom Quinn, he instead argues that one of the nasty surprises that awaited Meghan after getting that huge diamond ring on her left hand was the ego-deflating tedium of life inside a deeply hierarchical, dyed-in-the-wool institution. A Kensington Palace staffer who remembered Meghan well told Quinn, "I don't think in the whole of history there was ever a greater divide between what someone expected when they became a member of the royal family and what they discovered it was really like. She was hugely disappointed. She was a global superstar, but was being told what she could and could not do, and what she could and could not say. She hated it." In 2022, the royal family as a whole undertook more than 1,200 engagements that included Princess Anne officially visiting a recycling centre, Prince Edward taking the official inaugural ride on a new London tube line, and the Duke of Gloucester presenting the National Railway Heritage Awards. Glamorous stuff, this ain't. As that Kensington Palace staffer told Quinn, most of all, Meghan hated the fact that she had to do what she was told and go where she was told in the endless and to a large extent pointless royal round. There was nothing attractive or alluring about ending up in a job that requires making small talk with thousands, if not tens of thousands of people every year and having to feign interest day in and day out when you are presented with hordes of iPhone-snapping strangers, nervous small children, Lord Mayors, Lord Lieutenants, the fawning elderly hospital administrators and charity organizers, all while being relentlessly photographed and filmed. Show boredom or irritation, or just for a moment let your mind adrift wistfully back to that bottle of gin waiting on your Kensington Palace sideboard, and the ensuing pictures will set off a minor monarchical crisis and national media feeding frenzy. Palace Intrigue will be right back.
Hey, it's Jordan Ross Myers, the man behind Twitter's notorious Lee Radswell and Don Gunvalson. I'm inviting you to join me every week for the Pretty Corrupt podcast. Along with my co-host, reality casting director Stacey Noel Connor, and disgraced entertainment TV producer Nate Safer, we deconstruct pop culture's past, present, and future and probe the dark crevices of Hollywood, taking you inside the scandals, feuds, rises, and falls of society's rich and infamous. Alongside interviews with our celebrity friends and special guest hosts, everything is fair game on the Pretty Corrupt podcast. Every Tuesday on all streaming platforms and at storicmedia.com.
As if Frogsit weren't entertaining enough, how about this possible game of musical mansions? Royal expert Ingrid Seward told the Mirror, "The draconian solution proposed by the King's advisors is that if Andrew moved into Frogmore, Royal Lodge then becomes available possibly for the Prince and Princess of Wales, who are working at full tilt for the monarchy. It's royal swings and roundabouts, but King Charles has been warned he needs to make extensive savings, and this is just the beginning." The Mirror reminds us Royal Lodge is much bigger than the 5-bedroom Adelaide cottage where William and Kate moved into in September. The 30-room Royal Lodge is a Grade 2 listed building that dates back to the 17th century and was once a beloved home of the Queen Mother. On your scorecard, that would be Harry and Meghan out, Kate and William bigger home. Rolling Stone took a look at the Coronation stress point of not having enough A-list musical acts. Michael Cragg, author of Reach for the Stars, a book about 90s and noughts British pop, said, "Now we really want to know who people are and the version of the royal family that we've learned of recently through Prince Harry's book and how the Prince Andrew scandal was handled. The reality is awful. You could not be the biggest band in the world now and walk up and plant a kiss on them and still work." PR expert Simon Jones agrees. The royal family has faced a number of PR disasters in recent times, and anyone performing at the show would have to consider whether there would be a backlash from appearing amongst their fans. One PR executive, identified only as Meg, told Rolling Stone, "I don't know what there is to gain for artists by associating with Charles. With the Queen, she was fab and glamorous to some people. Charles doesn't add anything. There's not a legacy of his that anyone would want to align with. It's televised, so a lot of people will hear your songs, sure, but in terms of long-term PR strategy, I don't know if performing would add positively to an artist's narrative unless they were staunchly pro the monarchy." The big headlines around the coronation right now are which musicians are in and which musicians are out, which underlines the importance of music and what the symbolism is of an endorsement from one of these megastar artists. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalacintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, or even YouTube. You can hear our podcast there now on your app. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.
I'm Alyssa McKay, star of the new podcast, The Royals of Malibu. I play Ella, a sex worker just trying to survive when I get swept away to the wealth and the drama of Malibu.
You know, you can like something without touching it.
You've made the biggest mistake of your life, Ella Sinclair.
You are a total psycho!
Will Ella find a happily ever after ending? Or will these rich kids destroy her? Fall in love with The Royals of Malibu on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts.